Hi, my name is Justine. I'm a financial sales representative too.
Hi, I'm Stacy, Community Relations Officer.
My name is Shawnee. I'm a financial service representative, and I am Anudda Bajan.
And I'm Anudda Bajan.
And I am Anudda Bajan.
Hi, I'm Philip Bob, Manager of Centralized Services here at the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited. And if you're Anudda Bajan, this is where you belong.
Hi, my name is Celia Beckles, and I'm Anudda Bajan. I went to Belmont Primary School, and my childhood was quiet. Well, like me, I still go at all I know. I have one brother. And I had like 2 cousins who used to visit us for the long vacation. And we had a ball. We enjoyed each other's company. My mom, she had diabetes from very early. And I had to give her the injections from the time I was 13. Hi. So while you would go to school and the other children would be playing and stuff, you were cognizant you got a sick mother home. And when school finished at 3 o'clock, make a beeline to get home. I don't think that she accepted having diabetes that well. You know, she felt that she was like a burden then, you know, but I was there for her when I could have, and she left me when it was 21. Yeah, 20 going 21. Yeah, because I remember her saying to me, so what you want for your birthday? You asking me about my birthday? Well, my birthday ain't until August. But I guess sometimes people know. So that would have been like the only challenge I had when I was going to secondary school. Like normally you go to school and you would play and you know you kid around, but you couldn't do that. So I had to learn responsibility. And I have said that by having that in my life, it put me in good stead because I having to deal with my own challenge now. It kind of prepared me for it. Well, you will laugh. But my father belonged to St. Michael's Cathedral. So he would take us up on Sunday night and we go down there. At the time, Barnabas Collins used to show on TV. Barnabas Collins was the dead man that used to raise, the vampire that used to raise. So when you go into St. Michael's Cathedral, my father going upstairs, but all I could think about is the grapes in the backyard, on the outside. And when he going out, who going to raise up? I was a little girl then. So I used to think about that. They playing the organ and whatever. But then, as an older child then, I used to go with my grandmother to Well, we first went to First Baptist, which is opposite the park. But then, one thing about the Baptist church is there's always a breakaway. And Vincent Wood broke away from the Baptist, and he carried some of his people with him. So my grandmother went with him. And we would go like, you had, well, you don't know what, you wouldn't know because you was a young girl. There's a ministry at the corner there. It used to be Queen's College though. But Emmanuel Baptist was through there in a wooden building. It used to house these people who used to do all kind of handicraft and whatever. Anyhow, it evades me now. But we used to go in there and go church there. And I grew up in the Baptist church. Traveled with them for the first time. I went to Trinidad for the first time. That was like in 1979. Yeah. And there I come home. All I could do, my mother talking to me, and all they doing is dropping down sleeping. But I think it is because you were in the camping environment, so you out late. You know? My mother talking to me, gonna sleep hard. She said, talking to you sleeping? But when sleep coming, you can't stop it. I remember sitting the 11, what we used to call it the screening test. At the time, I had to go to St. Michael's Girls' School to sit the exam. My mother took me, and I wasn't too sure how I did, because at that time you used to be very nervous and thinking how you did. So I sat my exam, and then when the results come back, I did not get into one of the newer secondary school. So then I went to Spring Memorial. I didn't want to go because I was thinking this is a school that you just think that when you come home, you get pregnant. You figure that pregnancy was at this school. But then you went to school and you learn how to deal with the things. I remember we had a teacher who was saying that, yeah, before you get married, you shouldn't be having sex and that kind of thing. And this girl in my farm said, boy, you would buy a pair of shoes without trying it on? She said, if you compare yourself to a pair of shoes, I'm sorry for you. You know? And it put you realize, but this is not the way you should be living your life. So, as I said, when I knew I had to go, I cried because then it would be in the group of girls that you see coming from Belmont, walking across to go to Springer. But it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. School was pretty interesting. I made some lifelong friends at Springer Memorial who I still have up to today. You know, we knitted like a family. And we even had a get together. It was late last year and earlier this year. Believe you me, I'm 61 now. And hearing that register call for how much ever years, I could still recite it. Back some Beckles best be that Braffet car. Eastman Edges, Franklin Hope, Hurley, Lewis Laville, Lynch, Mosey, Neblett, Reed, Sandiford, Williams, Young. You know, because you're hearing it every day. The lady saying it. Well, it was a change from primary school to secondary school, and you get to meet people who were kind of similar in their views of life as you had. So we came together. I remember there's one particular friend I had when we got to Spring Memorial School. She did not have a desk, so we had to go next door and get a desk. And we are friends up to today. We are. That started our friendship, and it has not changed over the years. Because I lived where I lived, it was kind of close to the telephone company. I didn't want to work there. Went to Beaumont, went to school there. Went to Spring Memorial, went to school there. Went to community college, went to school there. So that's why when I was looking for a job, I didn't want to go to the telephone company because I would just be walking. They wanted to get into the real thing to see what it is like to work in town. So I applied to a financial institution in town, and I got good results, and I went there, I worked there. Back then, I worked in something called current accounts, where you deal with, and life was interesting then, because like how people would get a monthly statement and stuff, you had the ledger card that the girls had to hold and put in the computer to post whatever transaction. So people would come in and ask to see my account, and you had to be telling them, do not touch the film at the side, because then the girls won't be able to read it. So that was interesting. Many days people come in and want to see their account and see what's happening. Y'all think that y'all have it easy here? Because you had to, when you do the savings, you had to literally work out the interest by hand, and then apply it. They will divide it in a number of people, young people there, and you work it out manually using pen and paper and add a machine and work it out, and then the girls would apply it. Everybody is given the account number, as you know. So you had a manual stamp, and you had to stamp each page of that checkbook before you hand it to the customer. The other thing, you had a plate with the person's name and their number on it. And you would take out this plate and you go and put it in this machine and stamp every page. Life wasn't easy back then. So when people want fuss about banking now and whatever, and the thing about it, back then, when you are in the bank, your supervisor see you, like, especially on Fridays. Not me, because I wasn't a cashier, but realize that the lines are getting long. The accountant or senior supervisor can leave their post, their paid position, and come and help you to get these people from in front of you. I worked there for 16 years because being diagnosed with MS, I came out on early retirement. My diagnosis with MS was a bit tiresome because, as one doctor has said to me, you need to start doctor hopping. But the truth is, when you go to doctors and you've had this body from the time you're born, and you realize it's not working how it was working, and you go and they can't tell you what is wrong, and you just pay your money because they can't tell you what is wrong with you. So I remember when I had a GP, he was an internal specialist, and he thought I should go to a neurologist, whom I went to, and he said to me, you need to have an MRI. But at the point in time, this is like 1989, I'm speaking about, MRIs were not a part of Barbados, really. The hospital didn't have it. So I had to go to Venezuela and get this MRI. And while you were there getting the MRI, the truth is, I fitted a number of times because an MRI machine comes so close to your face. I said, it feels like if you are in a coffin. You're still living, you're in a coffin. And so I fitted on because you're kind of scared. And I fitted under it for like a couple of times, but eventually I got through it. And when I brought it back, I gave the neurologist, he said, well, yes, I assumed that you had MS, but I just wanted confirmation. And that is what I had. So the funny thing about it, having MS, while you will say it is not a good diagnosis, but after years of going around and people kind of think it was in your head, you were glad to have a diagnosis. I mean, before that, I remember going to a GP and he sent me to a psychiatrist because he was thinking, well, I can't find anything wrong with this girl. But I knew something was wrong because I used to feel like things running down in my head. And I went to the psychiatrist and she said, no, nothing is wrong with you. Your life seemed to be in check. Nobody would like to know that you're diagnosed with MS. But to me, it was a sense of relief when I was able to put a name to the challenges that I've been having. But the other thing I would say is that I used to keep tabs on my account. I was able to write, but I can't write anymore because my hands, I always had a tremor in this hand because I remember at the time when there was the MS modifying drug that will give people who has it to help. At the time, beta interferon was the name of the drug. And one doctor said to me he would put me on that, but then he said, but you will have to get somebody to give you because you've got a tremor in your thumb. And that is you pull up and this is what you use, you know? So no, even writing things, you just can't, even going on the computer, you can't negotiate it anymore. You don't see those things that are digital, things on the phone, things like that. You just can't see anymore. When I got my diagnosis, I was 26 years old. In the initial stages of having MS, I bought all kind of books about MS and what can happen and how you deal with this and you deal with that. Don't ask me, I don't know, because this is the way I live now. What has happened to me, I have to deal with it, as opposed to saying what somebody's saying in a book. I have to deal with it. So I had my own conviction by living with it. As I said, it didn't impact me emotionally because it was a relief to know that it isn't in your mind. You actually have, and there's a name to it. So it did not impact me terribly because at least I knew what I was dealing with. And you still did your normal day-to-day things. I lived on my own. I cook and I wash and go to the supermarket, do all those things that you would do in a household. You know, and so it didn't impact me terribly. Not at that stage. Now I'm getting older. That's why I've got helpers, some person here to cook and wash and what have you. But prior to, say, 3 years ago, I didn't need anybody. As a young girl, I would say I had like perfect eyesight. Anybody want a needle thread, give me and I could thread it. But now my eyesight has deteriorated. I can't thread a needle now because I can't hold the needle. I can't put the thread because they would be dancing and they would never meet together. Some of the challenges, okay, my challenges with MS would have been like, say in the organizations you did statements and you had to see what was written on the person's statement, their name and stuff. But I couldn't see certain things. I couldn't see like even I worked in a department called Beckles, and you would have these, like when people go shopping, go vacationing, and they had like what they call traveler's checks. And you would take out a part of that and send to the bank. But they would be so light, I couldn't see it because it was hard to see things that look faded. And even now, to see things written in pencil, can't see it. So The first thing was the vision, then my gait. You can't see me walking now, but my gait would be a little off. And you tend to fall a lot. You know, because I remember working in the organization and coming up these stairs and upside down. You fall and you realize, oh, there was nothing that tripped me, but it is just that your gait was a bit off. So, no two MS people are alike because it has taken, okay, like with the majority of people in the society, they had problems like walking first. Well, my problem was with my eyes. Walking came in very recently. I was able to walk using the rollator to assist me in my balance. Newly diagnosed with MS, to take it as it comes. Okay, I would just like to interject. When I told my employer, she said to me, well, you know, so you're going to soon be in a wheelchair. And I had made up in my mind, I ain't going in no wheelchair. But people give advice on what they know, who they know that have had it. But you have to take it as it comes to you, as it unfolds in your life, and see what comes. So you just take it as it comes. It is not the end of your life because you have MS. Yeah, you might feel that when you look around and see people going down, but I remember planting up well, you can't see much plants there because they're dead now. A lot of them died, but I had planted the garden. I had done these things. I did these things myself. In 1997, we came together as a group, a small group of 7, and we formed the MS Society of Barbados, Inc. So I am one of the founding members, and there's only one other guy. There are other people in the group, younger people who come in who have been diagnosed since. But this other girl with me, what was so strange, we went to school together and we sat side by side together. And she has MS too. You know, so that is basically it. Being a founding member of the society is a good thing. Learning to accept the things that you have no control over. It is one of those things that I realize you've got to do because things may not work out exactly how you want them to work out, but you getting vexed and want to kill and cure. What does it change? Doesn't change anything. Life is what it is. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all things will be added to you. I am Celia Beckles. I am an MS warrior, and I am a positive person, and I am just another Bajan.